Hello everyone, and welcome to my August reset routine. You guys know these are my favorite videos to film every month. Basically, in my monthly resets, I share the goals I had been working on last month, if I achieved them or if I didn't. I set new goals for the next month. I talk about my highs and lows, what I want to improve, give myself a little life balance score. And then I always wrap up these videos with a content corner, which is one of my favorite parts because I get to share everything I've been watching and reading for the month and give you guys my full ratings and reviews. Also, I'm trying out something different with this video. I got these little mics for TikTok and I thought I would try it out. It's not the highest quality handheld mic, but I thought it was cute. So we're going to try it and see. I hope this audio is good. I've almost finished my cookie dough matcha. I was drinking it while I was writing down my goals and stuff for the month, and it's just so good. I have been doing these resets now for 2 whole years. That's crazy to me. I don't think I've skipped more than 1 month in the past 2 years. Maybe I haven't even skipped a month. I think I've been doing these videos straight for the past 2 years, which is crazy. They're the perfect way for me to kind of reflect and reset every month and plan for the next month. And also the fact that you guys like to watch and plan your own lives and reset your own lives along with me just means so much. I love these, but let's bring out our planners. I am, of course, using my daily planner. This is the 6-month planner that I design and sell through my online shop. And this is the sky blue color that we just came out with for summer. I also added tabs last month. You guys saw me do that. So it's super easy to flip to the right month. And I'm going to start with July, and we're going to go over my goals from the previous month that you guys watched me set in my July reset video. And then we are going to set some new goals for August. I can't believe it's like back to school season. Like this summer has been so busy and has had so much change that in some aspects this summer has felt like it's been really long. But at the same time, the summers I feel like always fly by because everyone is always so busy and whatnot. So it's just kind of bittersweet. I love summer. I also love fall. Here's a question for you guys. Do you consider August summer or fall? Because when I was in high school and college, I considered August like that weird in-between month, but leaning more towards fall because I went back to school early August here in the South in Tennessee. But now as an adult, to me, August is still fully summer, especially because I'm going on like my beach vacation with my family at the very end of August into Labor Day. So now I see the start of fall being like September after Labor Day. But when I was younger, I always saw August as like back to school season. So it's just funny. Do you guys consider August summer or fall? Let me know. I'm going to move over here so I can show you guys my planner pages here on the screen. If you want to follow along, if you have the daily planner, pull yours out, or if you don't have the planner, you can use a piece of paper or something like that. But first, I like to think of core memories from the previous month as a way to like reflect. And for July, the 4th of July is obviously very big here in America, and I usually go home to be with my family. We had such a fun like family and friend pool day, grilled out, did fireworks by the lake. It was just a great 4th of July. Really had a sweet time. Baked a cherry pie for the first time, so that was super fun. You guys know I love to bake a pie for every holiday, so cherry was this year's 4th of July pie. Also, just seeing family and friends throughout the month is always such a sweet thing when I go home or if I like get to see new friends here in Nashville. Something I'm really proud of is I went out on the lake for one of my friend's birthdays this month, and it was a goal of mine for a while now, like last summer and this summer, to learn how to wake surf, and I just haven't had the opportunity yet to do it. But my friend's family had a boat and they all wake surfed, and so I was like, can you guys teach me? And they did. I have some footage to prove it. I got up on the second try, not to brag, but I have wakeboarded before and like skied and stuff, so I feel like I've done those kinds of motions before, but I was really proud of myself for being able to wake surf pretty easily, and I'm still learning. I want to do it again so I can like get better at it and let go of the rope and all of that stuff. But I was so proud of myself and checked that off of my summer bucket list for sure. And then one of the big core memories from this month has been just starting my new job. If you guys are not in the loop with that, I talked about it in my July reset, and also I did a whole vlog of my first week in the new job. I'll link it below if you're interested, because I talk about like why I'm taking this new job, what it's going to look like. I film myself in office working and going into office. So anyway, I've never had a real quote unquote real job, and this isn't even technically like a real 9 to 5. It's part-time, it's part remote, part in office, and I'm running the TikTok. So it's not a full like 9 to 5 corporate job, but it's definitely more corporate than I've ever had before. So it's been really fun and definitely a core memory. That leads us into this month's wins, which one is success in my new job. Really proud of the work I've done there in just the first few weeks. I started the second week of July. So just proud of myself for putting myself out there doing that. And also the next win is trying new things that scare me, like going to a new job, wake surfing. And like tonight I'm going to my church's like picnic. So meeting new people, putting myself in situations to meet people, and that may put me out of my comfort zone, but in the end, I know I grow through them. And then, just something that has to do with content is I landed 2 dream partnerships for my Instagram this month, which is so exciting. Shout out to my managers, Morgan and Katie. I don't give you guys enough shout outs because they're amazing. And one of them, I think I can tell you guys because it's already live, but it's Shopify. I use Shopify for my business. And so being able to partner with them, it's a dream come true. And then I'm really excited for the other brand that I'm working with later this month in August. Okay, so to improve next month, this July, even though it was fun and lots of new experiences, it was so busy. I have been working my booty off now that I have this new job. Besides just doing 5 hours a day for this new company that I'm working for, and then I have like 3 to 5 hours of my own work per day. I've just been extremely busy. I feel like I had to take a step back from Dream Daily this month because of the new job, and I knew that it was usually a slower month for Dream Daily is in July, and so took a step back, and now I'm ready to step back into things there and get ready for new launches, back to school season, promoting the student planners and stuff like that. So I've been extremely busy, and although I like being busy and I think that's good for me, I also don't want to neglect the things that mean a lot to me and my work-life balance. The other thing is my apartment, I feel like has just gotten so messy in the past month because I've been running around, like my closet, my bathroom, all needs a deep clean. So, it is what it is when you're busy and you're spending less time at home. It's just not going to be as clean as you would like. Okay, now for my little life balance ratings. So for work, I'm rating myself a 5 out of 5. Like I said, been hustling this month with my business, my personal brand, and this new job. So I deserve a 5 out of 5 there. Personal, I also gave myself a 5 because I learned new things, pushed myself, all of that I was talking about. Wellness has fallen back a little bit, but I've still been able to work out at least twice a week. I'm going to try to up that in August, but honestly, with being so busy, I haven't been hitting my step goal or my protein goals as much, which is fine, but I'm just going to give myself a 3 because that's kind of in the middle. I wasn't like killing it, but also I was doing my best. For my social score, I'm giving myself a 5 out of 5. Was very social with meeting new people, going to things, going to birthdays, all of that. Finances, again, kind of middle of the road, nothing too great, nothing too bad, so a 3. And hobbies, kind of the same. Also gave myself a 3. So that was my July reflection. Now let's go into goal setting and look at the goals that I set for myself in July and which ones I achieved or not. The first big goal I had for myself was to just have a successful start to my new job. I didn't even define what I thought success could mean. I just wanted to feel like I was successfully starting, whether that means just like getting onboarded and feeling comfortable in office, which I do feel very comfortable in the office. But I actually had a video get way more than their average views in my first weekend working for them, which is so cool. Our strawberry PR boxes that they designed and stuff blew up on TikTok. Like every video I would post with the strawberry PR box would get way more than average views and comments. So that was super gratifying to have my first week at this new job be so successful for them. So that was really exciting. I now have to figure out like what the normal is going to be. And I'm trying to set some new goals for that and trying to figure out what I can expect for myself and what I can expect from TikTok. But if you want to follow along on my journey, I personally think I'm making some really good content for them. So you can go follow at YouCanBeam. I also wanted to create a new budget plan, which I did. I posted this a little bit late, but I did post recently my mid-year financial reset along with my July budget with me. So check that out if you want to see like how I'm adjusting my budget to reach those finance goals that I set for myself at the beginning of the year. I wanted to read 4 books this month, which I exactly did. For mini goals, I wanted to go to a baseball game, which I didn't do. I need to move that over to this month. Hit 100 grams of protein every day. I was just too busy to even count it. I was trying to be mindful of my protein, but I definitely probably missed a lot of days just because I wasn't counting. Try 2 new recipes, which I did. Do a mid-year reset, did that. And then get 7,000 steps a day. That did not happen. And yeah, those were my July goals. Let me know how you guys did on your July goals. And now let me know a goal that you're setting for August, because I'm about to let you know what goals I'm setting. So the first 2 big goals I have are pretty career focused. I want to get the Beam TikTok, which again, this is my new job, the TikTok I'm managing for them, to 13,000 followers. We went from right under 10,000 from like 9,700 to right now we're at like 11,700. So I gained them 2,000 followers in 2 weeks, which I feel like is pretty good. So I'm going to try to get to 13,000 or more in August. Like I said, I'm stepping back into Dream Daily launches. And so we have a new product. I've had this product in mind and the inventory for it for a while now. Like I've literally had this product designed back in March, I want to say. I'm so excited for it, and I think it's going to launch in August. So that takes a lot of planning and time. And then a fun thing is to finish my summer bucket list. I think it was my May reset video where we wrote out our summer bucket list. I moved it to this big journal here I have that's Cinderella themed, but I probably have a list of 20 things on this summer bucket list, and most of them are checked off. You can kind of take a look there. Okay, for mini goals, I want to be working out about 3 times a week. Before I took this new job, I was trying to work out 4 times a week, but just realistically, I think I need to bring it down to 3 times a week. And to also help me with my new busy schedule, I want to plan more meals and prep more meals. I'm not someone who needs to like meal prep breakfast, lunch, dinner for 5 days a week, but just like planning, okay, this is what I'm going to take for lunch to the office on these days. This is what I'm going to have for an easy dinner when I'm exhausted at the end of the day and don't feel like cooking, just basic stuff like that. And then a fun thing is I want to finish booking me and my friend's Disney trip that's coming at the end of September. So I've been on top of that. It's so fun for me to plan. Okay, and then on this page, I go down to the projects and I basically break up my goals into either projects or habits. So my projects that are all going to be due by the end of the month are the Dream Daily launch, planning the Disney trip, and TikTok strategy so we can hit 13,000 followers. And then my habits for my goals are obviously the workout, which I've learned I need to do in the morning. I just push things, and by the end of the day, I like have deadlines and stuff that I need to get done by the end of the day and like need to get things posted and do my own work. And so working out has gotten pushed a lot this month when I leave it to the end of the day. So I realized I really need to work out like at 7 a.m. in the mornings in order to get those workouts in. My meals and the bucket list are all just little habits of planning for fun, planning for my day, a successful day. Okay, so that was my reflection and goal setting section. Let me know your thoughts. Again, let me know what's a goal you achieved in July and what's a goal you're setting in August. I want to hear your goals just like you guys hear mine. And now let's go on to the next segment of this reset. All right, congratulations. You have made it to the content corner. I'm so excited to talk about my favorite books and movies and TV shows that I've watched this month. So let me pull up my notes here for TV shows. Movies this month, I've been watching a ton of the Pirates of the Caribbean, just like rewatching them. I'm not going to give a rating and stuff because they're in my mind all 10 out of 10. I watch them. I try to watch the series every summer. I just have to watch the latest one, the 5th movie, and then I'll be done for this year. But as for new movies, tomorrow I'm going to see Twisters. So I wish I could give you my full rating and review in this movie. Maybe I'll do it while I'm editing. Okay, I'm going to see Twisters tomorrow. I haven't seen it yet, but when I'm editing this, I will have seen it. So here on the screen, I will put my thoughts and my rating of Twisters with Glenn Powell, Daisy Edgar Jones, and Anthony Ramos. They are the reason I'm going to see this movie. I love this cast, but I hope the movie's good too. Okay, as for TV shows, you guys are probably going to like this one. I feel like this one has been popular. America's Sweethearts, which is basically the Dallas Cowboy Cheerleaders documentary series that they did on Netflix. I had watched some of the previous series that was like on TV with Kathy and the team, and I thought it was good. I liked the Netflix version better because I think it was like more focused on the girls, like their stories and what motivated to get them to there, and kind of their families. I rate the show. I still have 2 episodes left, so I'm not finished with the show, but I have 2 out of like the 8 or 9 episodes left. And I rate the show an 8 out of 10. I think it's so interesting. It's also very inspiring, but also slightly heartbreaking for the girls that work so hard for this but don't make it. It's also kind of sad, just also the stress and the eating disorders that they put themselves under to fit into these roles. Not all of them, but they kind of hint at that kind of stuff, which just makes me sad. But overall, I think it's a really like inspiring show, and Reese from it, I think we all love Reese. She is the knockout star, which Netflix knew because they made her such a big part of this documentary. And like I followed her on Instagram and stuff. She's so sweet. And I just loved seeing, as someone who did dance in middle school, I stopped after like literally 3 or 4 years. But as someone who like has a tiny bit of dance experience, it was really cool to watch how they rehearse and learn all of this new choreography and then perform it and go in training camp and like perform on such a big stage at the Dallas football game. So overall, I think it's a really fun, like easy weeknight watch it with a friend or two. I watched it with Ashley, my roommate, and we both really have been enjoying it. The second show is My Lady Jane. This is an Amazon Prime original, and it's based on a book. I did not read the book. And just to give a synopsis of this show, it's really interesting, okay? It is like about Lady Jane in history, but Lady Jane in history was beheaded like 7 days into her reign. And this TV show, besides taking the main character names, is completely fiction because it's kind of sharing the story if like Lady Jane wasn't beheaded. And it's also fantasy. So there's magical elements. Literally people turn into animals. And so if you don't like those kinds of shows, this is not like a historical fiction drama. It reminds me a lot. To me, it's like a Gen Z version of Reign. If you guys watched Reign on Netflix about Mary Queen of Scots, I watched like all 8 seasons of that show. I loved it. I like Reign more. It definitely caught my attention more, and I just like the acting and the special effects and everything more in Reign. And so I'm going to give My Lady Jane a 7 out of 10. I will say I haven't finished this show either. I have 2 more episodes, but I just got really bored with it, and then I got busy, and I just haven't wanted to turn it back on. I will finish it, but as of now, I rated a 7 out of 10. It has a cute romance, but I had higher hopes for it. My friends really liked it, and I just didn't love it. I got kind of bored and just felt like it was okay. Now let's go into books. So, I still need my notes. Okay, so the first 2 books I read on my Kindle, so I'm going to put them on the screen here. The first book is This Summer Will Be Different by Carly Fortune. So she's the author of Every Summer After and Meet Me by the Lake, which are very popular. And so when I saw this gorgeous cover, I was like, oh, I'm so excited. I've only read Every Summer After from her, but I loved it. That was like probably one of my favorite beach reads from last summer. And so I was excited for this one. This is a best friend's brother trope. There's dual timelines. So it goes, current day to a few different summers ago, like throughout the past 5 years of summers, kind of like Every Summer After. It does take place on a really cute beach island, which I related to with because we go to a little beach island every year. That's where I'm going the end of this month. And so it just reminded me of that. Honestly, the storyline was nothing far too memorable. I rate it 3 stars. It was just like a good beach read, like average beach read. I feel like it's not something I'm going to remember or want to reread every year. But if you're looking for like a quick and easy beach read that's cute and that's best friend brothers trope, try this one out. The best part I thought about this that made it like more unique is I really liked the mystery behind the best friend. That's kind of an ongoing plot line throughout the book. Basically, the best friend is about to get married and last minute, this is not a spoiler, the best friend's about to get married and last minute goes to this beach house and calls her friend, the main girl, Lucy, to come join her. And Lucy's like, I'm literally doing your floral arrangements for your wedding this weekend. Like, why are you calling me to the beach house? And so you're trying to figure out the whole book, what's wrong with the best friend, and is she going to get married? Is she not? What's happening with her? And so I felt like that was a great plot line that kept me interested throughout the book when the rest of the book was just kind of average for me. Next book I read was Wild Love by Elsie Silver. She is my new favorite romance author. Last month, I went into depth about the Chestnut Springs series, which I read I think it's 5 of those books in like 2 weeks, which is crazy for me. I flew through those. And so I thought, let me try another one of her books. And I gave this book 4 stars too. I literally have not given any of her books below a 4-star, which is crazy for basic romance. But what I liked about this one is that it's a new series that the second book in the series I actually think is coming out in September. And it is loosely connected by one character to the Chestnut Springs series. But if you haven't read Chestnut Springs, you can still read this book and it's not going to really spoil anything. It is more of a billionaire trope. So while Chestnut Springs was a like ranch cowboy type of vibe, this is a billionaire trope, but it takes place in a small lake town. So you kind of get the best of both worlds. Like the main female character loses her job in a tough way. And so she goes to live. This is also a best friend's brother trope. Didn't even realize that till now, but it is. Anyway, so she goes to stay with her brother while she's looking for a new job, and then the best friend is the billionaire next door who hires her to help her out, and then, you know, goes from there. It's also a little bit of a grumpy sunshine trope if you like that relationship vibe. Okay, the next book is a physical book, and it is, everyone's gonna know this cover, Funny Story by Emily Henry. So I was a few months late to reading this. I think this came out like late spring. Emily Henry, I have a love-hate relationship with because I remember really liking Beach Read and Book Lovers. I didn't love People We Meet on Vacation, and I really didn't like Happy Place. Okay, I'm not gonna go into detail now about it because I'm sure I talked about it in that video in my reset recap last year when I read Happy Place, but this one I liked better than Happy Place. I'll just say that first. I rated it 3.5 stars, so a little bit above like an average beach read. I liked this storyline more. It takes place in a lake town. I didn't know if I was gonna like the main character at first, which I kind of liked how it wasn't an instant, oh my gosh, she's amazing. You know, he had to grow on me, which I think was good for the plot. And it had, Emily Henry's books are cute romance books, but they have sometimes a little bit of depth. This one had a little bit. It had a lot of great points about like relationships with parents, as well as forgiving people in your life, as well as making new friends when you're kind of more of an introvert. So I liked all those plot lines. And actually her storyline as a librarian and her job that's all throughout the book as a librarian in this small town was probably my favorite part. I think I liked the plot of her job and what she was doing at work more than the romance. If you've ever seen You've Got Mail, I was just picturing the bookstore from that movie, Shop Around the Corner, the whole time throughout the book. So it was giving very much those vibes, which was very sweet. And yeah, I think if you like Emily Henry books, of course, you've probably already read this. If you haven't, it could be a good one to start with. Yeah, those are my thoughts. I'm probably never going to reread it, but I'm glad I read it to say that I did. Okay, and then the last book, I finished this like 2 nights ago, and it is my highest rated book of the month. We have Reckless by Lauren Roberts. So this is the technically second book in the series because this is the Powerless series, which Powerless I read a few months ago. It's been one of my top reads from this year. I think this may be one of my favorite series from the year. Powerless, I described it as like a lot of people describe it as an Aladdin meets Hunger Games young adult fantasy book. Really good, so easy to read. This book, so easy to read. It's 500 pages and I read this in 2 days because the chapters are so short, which I love. It also gives 3 different perspectives from the 3 different main characters. Loved the action scenes in this. The romance was good, and the original book is Enemies to Lovers. I'm not going to give any spoilers for the second because if you haven't read the first book, Powerless, you need to read it. I didn't give it 5 stars because I felt like it was not slow, but there was just a lot of dialogue when I wish there was a little bit more action. The first book is very action-packed. She's on the streets, she's in trials, she's figuring things out. This one had some good plot twists, especially the last plot twist was my favorite, but overall I felt like the middle was a lot of dialogue when I wanted a little bit more action. As for the last plot twist, I did guess it probably about 50 pages out. I didn't even guess it, I wanted it to happen. I was like, thought it in my head like, oh my gosh, if this is what happens at the very end, I will be so happy. And it did, because I think it is going to be so good in the third book, which I'm really excited for. I don't know when it comes out, but my only other note is I read the novella that's about her best friend, and that it goes in between these 2 books, and you didn't need to read the novella at all to read this second book. So I'm hoping the novella, the characters I met in that book, in the little in-between story, come into play in the third book, because I'm like, why would you write a novella otherwise if it doesn't like play into the bigger picture? But anyway, I'm loving this series. I cannot wait. Lauren Roberts, this is her first ever series. This is like the 3rd book she's ever written, and for it to be so good is amazing. So definitely read it. Favorite series of the year so far. I always get so out of breath in these videos. It's so much talking, but I hope you guys liked this reset with me for August. Again, let me know what you're up to this month. Let me know what you want to see from my channel, especially now that I'm taking on like this new job, new role. Let me know if you want to see more of that. Let me know if you want vlogs, week in the lives, more videos like this, finance videos. Let me know what you guys want to see, and I will talk to you guys in my next video. Bye.